dear student. Hope you all are enjoying your studies and taking care of yourself. After completing chapter 1 in Geography, India, location and its size, today we are going to start second chapter, physical feature of India. Let us see what are the physical features of India. Studied in previous classes about the physical feature, that is number 1, different types of mountain. Then we studied about somewhere the landform in the form of plains. Somewhere we find and see plateaus. Somewhere we find island, a land which is covered by water. So these are the basic physical feature which we have seen in our previous classes. Now next comes how they have been formed. So these physical features, they used to form from different geographical process, and these processes are categorized into again 3 parts. Let us see what are those processes due to which these physical features used to form. So number 1 is weathering. Next is erosion. And third important factor is deposition. So how does this weathering used to take place? Weathering is long-term process. It takes million years to break big rocks into small stones, and this process is called as weathering. Now after this process, these stones gets eroded or washed away from one place to another and form a different kind of landmass. Next process is deposition. Again, through natural process, these pieces of stones or the minerals, they get deposited from one place to another place. Best example is the water movement or the river journey, where they used to carry all those minerals and deposit to the river bank side and forms the plain, a very fertile plain. So in this way we understood these are the main mechanism due to which the land used to form in different shapes. After seeing the various process of land formation like weathering and erosion, also with the deposition, we understood how different features used to frame. Now, scientists and geological department, they have predicted several theories about the formation of lands. So let us see one of them, that is the theory of plate tectonic. According to this theory, it says that the uppermost layer of the earth, which is called as crust, has 7 major plates and some minor plates or layers, we can say. So when these plates or layer used to do movement, certain kind of changes used to occur in the earth's surface. That is, we will see with the process of movement. So there are broadly 3 processes through which we can understand the different activity and the land formation. These 3 processes, number 1 is convergent boundary, and number 2 is divergent boundary, and number 3 is transform boundary. Let us understand the movement of tectonic plates with the help of these diagrams. And below layer of these tectonic plates, there is a layer of mantle. Now what happened under the convergent movement? The plates, they come closer to each other or near to each other, and while coming near to each other, the mantle layer, it rises and oozes up in the form of mountains. So we can see that due to the movement of tectonic plate under the process of conversion, we get a new form of land, that is called mountains. And now next is divergent boundary. In divergent form of boundary, the movement of the tectonic plate, they gets move away from each other. Means the movement of tectonic plates, they are going away from each other and they leave a space in between the area of their movement. They leave some space that becomes a very important area or the hot spot for volcano. Now, in this way, we saw another activity took place due to the movement of tectonic plate under the process of divergent boundary. Now comes transform, in which the tectonic plates, they used to move in the opposite direction, and during their opposite direction, a kind of formation used to take place or space used to create, that is called as our earthquake. And this is mantle, layer of earth, second layer. So in this way we saw that convergent, divergent and transform, they used to create different activity along with the result of different landform. Once again, let us see. In the convergent landform, the layer of the tectonic plate, they used to come to each other and oozes up a land mass from the mantle layer that called as mountain. And now in the divergent movement, what happened? These tectonic plate, they used to get away from each other and releases some space and creates the hot spot for volcano. In the transform form of tectonic plate movement, what happened? These plates, they used to do a kind of parallel movement due to the disturbance of earth layer and create the zone of earthquake. So these are all the process through which we understood that how different lands and the activities used to be created.
Let's know some amazing fact about Ring of Fire. It is about 40,000 km long and shaped as a horseshoe. It is sometimes called as Circum-Pacific Belt or Circum-Pacific Seismic Belt. 90% of world's earthquake and 80% of world's largest earthquakes occur along with the Ring of Fire.
Now next topic is major physiographic division. So the physical feature is being divided into 6 features. Number 1 is Himalayan mountain. Then comes the area of northern plains. Then comes the part of peninsular region. Peninsular plateau. And then comes the region of desert and few areas of coastal plain. These are the areas of coastal plains. And at last we have another feature, that are our islands. Now let us see broadly Himalayan mountains, how they generated and how they are being classified.
Let's discuss in detail about the mountain ranges. The first one is Himalaya or the Himadri, lies in the northernmost range. Its average height is about 6,000 meters above the sea level. It contains highest peaks. Mount Everest and the highest peak of the world lies in the range of Nepal. Other highest peaks are Mount K2, Kanchenjunga and Annapurna. The mountains here are always covered with snow. The climate remains very cold throughout the year. Next range comes Lesser Himalaya, which is also called as Himachal Range. The range is mainly composed of highly compressed and altered rocks. The altitude varies between 3,700 to 4,500 meters and the average width is of 50 km. The most important and the longest range is Pir Panjal Range. The Dhauladhar and the Mahabharat range consist of famous valley of Kashmir, the Kangra, the Kulu valley in the Himachal Pradesh. This region is well known for its hill station. In front of you there is an image which shows the lesser Himalayan example, that is Darjeeling, situated in Sikkim. The last range is the Shivalik range, which is in the southernmost range of Himalaya. Average height is between 1000 to 1200 meter above the sea level. Its width varies between 10 to 50 kilometer. It is made of unconsolidated material such as mud, silt, boulders and soft rocks. Landslides, soil erosion at this area is very common. This is not the continuous range of Himalaya. It is merged with the other ranges in the east. In front of you is the example of Shivalik Hill, Kedarnath, situated in Uttarakhand.
After understanding the first major physiographic division of Himalayan, let us understand the second physiographic division, that is Northern Plain. So Northern Plain basically are formed by three main rivers, that is Indus River, Ganga River and Brahmaputra River. And the area covered by these regions are called as Indian Plains, Ganga Plains and Brahmaputra Plains. So these rivers, they created the area or the plains due to the several distributaries. It has 5 distributaries like Jhelum, Beas, Ravi and Chenab. Also these rivers, they used to make a very fertile land. These Ganga Plain, Brahmaputra Plain and Indus Plain, they have very fertile land which is consist of alluvium soil, which is very good for the cultivation, that is especially wheat and rice. Now there is a term called Doab. This Doab means when two rivers, they used to flow in a conjugative manner and the land mass between that is called as Doab. This is river 1 and this is river 2. A land mass created by two rivers is called as Doab. Do means two, Ab means water. So a land mass between two water area is called as Doab. These plains are very fertile and these plains are created with the help of distributaries and tributaries. Let us understand what is distributary and what is tributary. Tributary means tributary. Suppose this is the main river flowing from one area and another river used to join on the way and increase the level of water to the main river, that is called as the tributary. So there are some plains which are created with the help of tributaries and there are some places or the plains which are created with the help of distributary. So let us understand distributary here. It is the opposite of tributary. So what happens, suppose this is main river. In this main river, from this main river, if river water gets divided, this river water gets divided into small rivers and can form different rivers in the form of branch, that is called as distributary. It means water is being divided into different river. So children, this is very important difference between distributary and tributary. Now once again let us understand up to where these Indus Plain, Ganga Plain and Brahmaputra Plain are extended and are covering different regions. This Indus Plain is covering the area of Punjab, Haryana, few part of Haryana, and here the Ganga Plain covers your UP from Ghagra River to the Haryana, from Ghagra River of Haryana to the Tista River in the West Bengal. This is the complete plain region of Ganga Plain and it covers the state of Haryana and UP and some part of here Odisha and Bihar. Also now Brahmaputra Plain, this is towards the eastern part and Ganga plain is at the center plain. This is also called as central plain, and in this plain is called as western plain. Now in Brahmaputra the ranges are from West Bengal to Assam. This is the range of Brahmaputra plain.
Let's discuss few more features about the northern plains. Number 1 is Indus or Punjab plains, which is the part of northern plain formed by the Indus river and its tributaries Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Beas and Satluj. The larger part of the plain lies in the Pakistan. This plain is dominated by the Doabs land between two water bodies. Second one is the Ganga plain, the middle part of the northern plain formed by the Ganga river and its tributary Yamuna, Ghagra, the Kosi, the Gandak and the Son. Third one is the Brahmaputra plain. It is the eastern part of the northern plain formed by the Brahmaputra river and its tributary Lohit, Dibang, Sahing, Kaming, Subansari, Dihing, Diku, Disang, formed the largest delta in the Sundarban. Let's do short knowledge checkup from the topics which we have discussed in this video. First one is the northern plains are formed from the soil of alluvium, red, laterite or black. Second is a landmass bounded by a sea on three sides is referred as coast, peninsula, island or plateau. Third question is dash are the geographically young and structurally folded mountains that stretch over the northern border of India. Aravalis, Vindhyas, Coromandel and Himalaya. Now waiting for your answers in comment section. Thank you for watching.